GME earnings call stream. We just had news on Matt Furlong. Matt Furlong got fired, terminated, let go. Says terminated. Um, and Brian Cohen is the new acting CEO. Okay.
Um, but I know there's hopes here that if they can kind of miss by a little bit less every time, things get better. What do you think a hope is here, and how these numbers look to you?
Well, I mean, you have to at least hit the numbers, and if you look at the sales number, absent of course the earnings miss, which the miss itself, in terms of totals, was better than last year for the same quarter, but sales missed, and they're down about 11% year over year. So both those metrics are moving in the wrong direction for GameStop, which effectively, OJ, in my view, is obviously very volatile, but effectively you have to consider the financing needs that the business has. So I don't know. The stock itself could do one of those other parabolic run-ups that we saw back a couple of years ago, but I think maybe this fad has changed quite a bit. There's a lot of other smaller capitalization-based companies that are in different areas of the stock market than GameStop. But at the end of the day, you have to look at the financial fundamentals, and with earnings down and sales growth actually contracting in this case by over 10%. In theory, and I guess in practice, you should see the stock down.
So, no conference call today for GameStop. I don't know, man. This just every quarter,
No
I'm
conference
continually
call?
surprised by how much patience the investors of this company have,
No earnings call?
and the
What the heck?
low level of standard that has been set here. It seems like just no indication of what they want to do. No conference call. I mean, if it weren't for the kind of army of speculative, traders out there that have, committed to staying in here, like the way folks approach like a, crypto token or something, the sort of tribe mentality, then I don't know what this thing would be trading on,
What the heck?
because you just don't even do a conference call when the company has existential, going risk from a product and a service standpoint. No idea what role they're going to play, what exactly their business model is, and they don't seem to bother wanting to give any update. Every quarter, how's the stock not crashing?
Well, I mean, I think one of the other factors, OJ, we got to look at is it. I mean, we've seen worse. Let's just put it this way: we've seen worse in terms of some of the retailers out there, and like Bed Bath and Beyond, which
Hold on,
obviously
guys.
went
I'm gonna get
bankrupt.
caught up here.
They showed deceleration in earnings. They also showed deceleration in revenue, but they also had a massive debt issue, and so they had a balance sheet issue. I don't necessarily see that with GameStop, so that could be one of the reasons why it's held up quite well. Whether it's at risk of surviving as a going concern, I can't say right now. Obviously, it seems to have a business that, again, is viable, at least in terms of the namesake, but also in terms of the following as well. But you have to consider, earnings contraction and revenue contraction, and then eventually that'll weigh on the stock. At some point in time, they'll need to raise capital through common equity. It'll put additional pressure on the shares, and you're going to see run-ups. I would suggest continuing going forward, but you have to look at the longer-term trend, and we know that that's still a challenge for GameStop.
Okay. All right. Shares are slipping. I mean, they kind of do this, but okay. George, we'll put this on the back burner for a moment. Come back to it in the morning. See, how the market handles it. As once again, not very impressive numbers. cash and equivalents at around $1.3 billion at the end of the first quarter. So as far as expectations go, you know, I think that they continue to be pretty low if the stock can stabilize on this, because it seems like a pretty weak report. That being said, George, you have a different stock for us, one that's been doing quite well. Your overlooked stock
Yeah,
of
so I
the
guess
day
the
is
earnings are out
Microsoft.
also. No earnings call. No earnings call. Is Matt Furlong moving over to barbecue? All right, let's look at the earnings real quick. Thanks, guys, for your like. Sorry to do a new stream here. I know it's kind of annoying. Just want to kind of keep it more organized. Got 10 likes. So far, the news is Matt Furlong, CEO, is fired, and Ryan Cohen is the new acting CEO of GameStop. Typically, when you fire a CEO, it's initially bearish. Seems like there's a problem or just gives uncertainty, and the market doesn't like uncertainty. So getting that reaction, and then on top of maybe an earnings miss, but we'll look at that. Okay, let's see here. My browser is so laggy. Net sales were 1.237 billion for the period, compared to 1.378 billion in the prior year's first quarter. So, yeah, that's not good. I want to see expectations. Yeah, executive chairman is a CEO. I know, I've never heard of that either. SG&A expenses were 345 million, 27.9% of net sales for the period, compared to 452.2 million or 32.8% of net sales in the prior year's first quarter. Okay, so net loss was 50 million for the period, compared to a net loss of 157 million for the prior year's first quarter. So yeah, it's better than last first quarter as far as EPS numbers. Transition costs related to European restructuring efforts were 14.5 million for the period. Is that the French COVID loan? What is that? Transition costs related to European? Oh, closing down those stores in Europe. So those should be one-time cost to close down those stores. They shouldn't be recurring. I think that's what this is talking about. Incur transition charges. Cash equivalents, and marketable securities were 1.3 billion at the close of the quarter. So it was 1.4, I think, end of last quarter. So used a little bit of cash. Long-term debt remains limited to the one low interest unsecured loan. With the French, oui. Those are kind of the highlights. Oh, Ryan Cohen tweeted, "Not for long." Oh my gosh. What is he talking about? What? This freaking guy. What? Not for long. Oh, he's coming back. This has got to be for Teddy or some other brand. He must be moving him to another brand. I mean, I don't know. Why else would he tweet that also? We were already thinking that. And then he says, "Not for long." Come on. Okay, so we don't really have an after hours on barbecue, but I would love to see if barbecue started ripping. Not for long. I mean, it's speculation for sure. You've got to speculate that. Why would he fire that CEO? I mean, maybe there's just problems. For sure, there could just be problems. But then there's all speculation on his involvement with barbecue, so that's where I immediately just think, okay, if they fired him, that's because he wants him to work somewhere else. In the interim, he'll take over running GME. Yeah, I mean they missed. I think I don't know what expectations were, but some of it is down from the CEO being fired, and that's typically pretty bearish news. It's always bearish news initially. And then the rest is probably from just their earnings. Let's look at the filing. Not for long, Teddy. Dude. Oh my gosh, this freaking guy. If he just terminated Matt Furlong and that's it, and just because whatever, he wasn't doing a good job, and then just tweeted that. Just like roasting him after he's fired. That would be hilarious. So either Ryan Cohen's a cruel, or he's allocating him somewhere else. That's my only speculation. He fired. Well, he can't be running GME if he's also running a new company like Teddy or I don't know, whatever. So he wants him freed up for another company. That would be why. It was a Trojan horse in the end. I don't think so. I think it would be hilarious though if we don't see Matt Furlong still working with Ryan Cohen in another company, because that would mean he just literally tweeted it and then made a meme about it. That's great. Never sent down anything to do that. Let's see. Do you guys have? Sorry, I'm just catching up on you guys. Oh, this is still within. No, what were they pricing in? 16%. So yeah, I guess I should have gotten puts. They were just so expensive, man. Did I get? No, I looked at it. I was gonna get a 19 put. Look at that. It would have almost been in the money. I should have. That was the one I could afford with my buying power. Was a 19 put. It'll probably bounce before open. I don't know. We'll see. What are those gonna be trading at? Shoot, I should have freaking got it. Yeah, no earnings call. Canceled the call, which is also extremely bearish. I mean, his last tweet was about, it was a poop tweet, guys. Don't be mistaken. That was a poop tweet. That's what you get. He warned us. Just for the pun. Correction, he's not been terminated. Oh, I think he's been terminated. Dang. Forgotten those puts. Should have trusted the tweet, DD. 1990. Down 23%. That's what TD was saying. There's not gonna be a call. So I mean they probably have the news. They're done talking about it. So yeah, I guess no earnings call. Let me look at the filing. A little better. Yeah, so we got the highlights. Cash equivalents, 1.3 billion. You warned us by saying that Matt Furlong was being paid 351 times? What do you mean? When do you say that? Yeah, it just canceled. So, not in a later date. I mean, it's not like we hear anything on the call anyways. They don't give any guidance, so that's all you really care about on a earnings call is guidance. Unless they have an announcement, and they don't. May 23rd on Twitter. He said Furlongs be paid 351 times. Dude, I can't believe he tweeted not for long. The company. Oh yeah, it says it right here in the filing. The company will not be holding a conference call today. Stockholders can review the company's 10Q. Let's see, 13 weeks. Has been an exciting ride with GameStop. I do say, I do agree. So 13 weeks ended April 29th. So this is year over year for the first quarter, right? That's what this is. So yeah, net loss is better than it was last first quarter. Significantly better, which is good. EPS is negative 0.17, which I think is what actually estimates were at. Right on, I'm pretty sure. New York Yankees canceled their game from that smoke. New York, wow. So yeah, I mean, it's still better than last year. Significantly better, which is good. But yeah, negative EPS, which is kind of what we were expecting. They're still cash flow positive. Let's see, cost of sales, net sales, SG&A, net loss, less than, yeah, so it's trending in the right direction. Certainly. That's interesting. The cash and cash equivalents, though, is pretty close to what it was last year for Q1. Huh. We have less assets than last year. Yeah, that's because all the inventory from last year. But more, let's see. Yeah, less inventory, you see right here. Less prepaid expenses and other current assets. But more in marketable securities. We didn't have any last year. Marketable securities are financial assets that can be easily bought and sold on the public market, such as stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. I think this is the... I think they're holding bonds or something. Or treasury bills, or... yeah, I think they have it invested. I think that's what that's talking about. Which is good. I mean, you get good interest right now, for sure. Yeah, that's true, though. Conference call is still live, isn't it? Jamming. Sorry. Alright, let's keep looking through this. I actually just pushed back my appointment. Current liabilities. Accounts liable. Thanks, guys, for your likes. What a shocker, man. 17 likes. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm still in the queue. Let's see if maybe Cohen will pop on there. Gotcha! Accounts payable 561 versus 386. Long-term debt. Total liabilities and stockholders' equity. Less than last quarter. So net loss 50.5 million as opposed to 157 million. Good. Net cash flow is used in operating activities. Negative 102. Cash end of period 1079. Where is it? Free cash flow. Yeah, it is negative. I was wondering if that's what that was. So they're not positive free cash flow anymore. I mean, given this is, I think this is usually their slowest quarter, Q1. But I was hopeful they'd still be free cash flow positive. So negative on that, negative EPS. Adjusted EBITDA 29.4. Last year was 125, negative 125 and a half. Yeah, I mean it's about what was expected, I guess. the surprise from last quarter was just because they were selling out a bunch of inventory that they weren't replenishing, so it bumped up their cash flow and their EPS. Got some 20 puts. Nice, man. Tequila. Daniel, well, they started the queue before they announced that, so if there wasn't, that's just what I would think. If there wasn't a call, they wouldn't have. They need to start it so people didn't start speculating that there wasn't going to be a call. Basically, that's what I would think. Yeah, I'm curious on the bounce and what those 19 strike, because they were $13. The IV was so high. Whatever. I could only get one of them anyways. It's right here. Let's see, where was it? It's on this sheet actually, right here. Right here. The company will not be holding a conference call today. Stockholders can review the company's Form 10-Q. Where did the cash go to? I don't know. You have to break it all down. Matthew, RC fired Matt Furlong and is now the CEO of GameStop. Negative EPS again. Negative free cash flow. So about what it was expected, honestly. Not so fast, nerds. There wasn't enough like cash pulled out to make a acquisition like that. I mean, not that I can tell. And this was, I mean, you're not even going to see it necessarily. This was Q1, so we've had quite a while since then. You know, it could still be pulled out. Whenever this ended was months ago. No, I don't know. When does their first quarter end? Is that April? Is that right? April 29. So yeah, we've had April, May, June. So basically 3 months. So it wouldn't show up on this one anyway. Show up on the next earnings call, or 10Q, 10K, 10Q. Why the drop near was estimated? A lot of it from the CEO. From the CEO being fired, that's quite bearish usually. At least the initial reaction, unless there's some good fundamental foundational reason. Given people love Ryan Cohen, so, but still, majority of that moves the stock is not people that love Ryan Cohen. It's just, you know, institutions, funds, whatever. People that are like, okay, they fired CEO or something wrong. And I don't know the exact expectations of what it was. I'm just assuming it was pretty close to here. But the expectations were pretty bad, so. And yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see where it opens tomorrow. Like it's, this is still after hours move. Like, who knows where it's gonna open up tomorrow? On June 5th. Oh wow, that was very recent. Where are you seeing that? Matt Furlong's resignation not result from any disagreement with the company on any matter relating to the company's operation, policies, practice. It's on here. Look at Furlong. Where is it? Dude, my browser, why are you doing this? So slow. I'm not seeing anything about Furlong on here. Yeah. Part of RC role as CEO's capital allocation. What does that mean? Not for long, dude. His tweet, man. Oh my gosh. You actually don't have to invest for the drama. I'm not invested, and I just got to enjoy all the drama. You're welcome, Eli. He was terminated, but Bourbon's saying it was not because of disagreement. And he said he was terminated on the 5th, which I'm surprised it'd be that soon, that recent. But maybe. RC tweet on 521 was a meme with Dave doing all the work while others sat around. That's right. The caption was, due to cutbacks, we're going to have to fire Dave. Oh, that's right. Well, that makes it seem like it was because of a problem. Maybe not disagreement, but a problem. Was that on the 5th? Yeah, let me look at this. That was May 21st. No, they said the call's canceled. He did tweet about the average CO being paid 351 times. That's right. So now he's going to get paid 351 times. What am I looking at? I mean, that's kind of what you have to call it as a termination. What else would you call it? Mentioned in the 8K. No, what am I looking at? Is this not an 8K? That's a 10K, isn't it? Oh, 8K, here you go. I was looking at, whatever. Not opening for me. Okay. 8K. Good call, Bourbon. Alright, GME is down 18%, 21, 26. On June 5th, Board of Directors of the company terminated Matthew Furlong as president and chief executive officer of the company, effective immediately, such that after giving effect to such termination, Mr. Furlong was no longer employed by GameStop. Subject to Mr. Furlong's timely execution of a separation and release agreement on revocation in the time provided to do so, which includes a release of claims against the company and its affiliates. Mr. Furlong will be entitled to receive the payments and benefits associated with termination without cause, as such term is defined in Mr. Furlong's offer letter dated June 9th. Originally filed as Exhibit 1, attached to the company's... Okay. On June 5th, Mr. Furlong resigned as director, effective immediately. Mr. Furlong's resignation did not result from any disagreement with the company on any matter relating to the company's operations, policies, or practices. In connection with Mr. Furlong's resignation, the board reduced the size of the board to 5. Additionally, as further disclosed in item 801 to this current report on Form 8K, the board appointed Ryan Cohen as chief executive chairman of the company and Alan Attal as the lead independent director of the board. June 7th, the board appointed Mark H. Robinson as the company's general manager, effective immediately. Oh wow, that was today. Moving all sorts of people around. Oh, Mr. Robinson is also terminated? RC is the captain now. Beer and pizza. I don't know. Furlong terminated over leaving toilet seat up at office. That would be hilarious. No earnings call. Nope, they canceled it. Not very heavy money. Okay. Offer letter. Well, I've got it all in here. Why did the barbecue jump a lot based on buy by babysitting buyers? I mean, it's maybe jumped some on it. There's nothing in writing. It's all just speculation from media, you know. So no filings, you know, nothing from the court. And yeah, and the buyers have been, they've not been necessarily that bullish. OST up like 15 days on the news. I mean, that could be kind of a cover on why OSTK is up also. Media's going to give you an answer, whether they know it or not. You know, who knows why OSTK is up. There was a lot of stuff similar that's been pumping. I mean, it looked like perfectly set up for a breakout, just TA-wise. Overstock, it's been waiting for it, so. Gotta give everything in here. GameStop, EV Games, Gaming Report, Micromania, ThinkGeek, GameStop Gives, and Zing. Those are all their companies. Is ThinkGeek one of them? CFO, Mr. Robinson. And here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. First quarter overview, net sales 1 to 3, but yeah. I'll be holding a conference call today. Okay, here's all this again. Collectibles. So sold less collectibles this quarter compared to last year, it looks like. Fewer net sales. Okay, call still ringing? Yeah, still waiting on the call. EBITDA, negative 29.4. Free cash flow, negative 111.8. All right, there it is. Interesting. 18. What was all that? What was all that crazy volume pre-market? And then even today, what was going on there? That was crazy. Dude, look at the 4 hour with the extended. Look how far that dipped down. It dipped down almost to the bottom of the rally. It started a month ago. That's what I was saying when I was looking at puts. I was like, I don't know if it'll come this far down. Like, I expect it to be bearish, but somewhat within expectations. Which it was, but I was not expecting a termination of the CEO. Trying to save money? I don't think so. Based on his tweet, unless he's just like cruel, it seems like there's other plans. It doesn't seem like it was it seems like a plan to get him out of GME, probably to be used for Teddy or yeah, that's all I can really think of, honestly. I don't think anybody's coming on this earnings call. Just us and this smooth Yaz. Now a little more, 21%. Thanks guys for your likes, showing up. I feel like half of you just tune in to this channel for the GME earnings calls. It's great. You know where to go for GME earnings calls. Even Superstock's picking up the Teddy CEO. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It does. Stalking Horse bid deadlines tomorrow. Maybe we'll hear it's them, Teddy or RC Ventures, or I don't know. Here for the music, let's be real. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be anything on Overstock. Proper technical breakout. Yeah, when this retests that breakout, it'd be a nice spot to go long on. I do an after hours. I don't really have access to after hours on barbecue. That's the thing. They flushed it into the close, which I'm not buying that. I think that was like a little attack, honestly. I think we'll be back above 2340 tomorrow. Yeah, actually that's weird. So maybe it didn't even close down. Or maybe it's up. Wait, what's that say? Price 29.76. That. $23.41. Okay, yeah, after hours barbecue is at $23.41. It's literally right above that $23.40. See here. So yeah, it literally bounced straight up above that after the bell. So it's only down 4.8%. It's actually showing it's down that on the day. This is maybe including after hours. But look how TD shows it's only down 4.8%. Webull showing 6.4. Weird. Yeah, there was just one order. I think that's probably after hours though. Why it's doing. Yeah, I mean we'll listen to see if the call comes out. Spin is bullish. I mean, it's maybe bullish on the whole RC ecosystem that he's potentially building. For GME specifically, I don't think it necessarily matters. The street's going to take it as bearish. Whenever you fire a CEO, like that's a huge deal. Even when he fired the CFO, it hurt the stock. You have 2341 for a day and 2301 after hours. Yeah. So maybe it's just Webull. Let me see what E-Trade says. Yeah, even E-Trade says 2341 on the day. Okay, and after hours 2302. So it actually shows after hours is down. Okay. Matt Fernandez selling his shares. No, not necessarily. His shares aren't even vested yet, I bet. I don't know how that works though, but you might not have access to them until a certain amount of time. Icon picks up. Okay, guys, I actually have to go now to my appointment. Thank you so much for your likes. Thank you for the support. We'll see you on Discord. If you guys haven't joined it, it's linked there in chat. No earnings call today. They canceled it. Ryan Cohen fired Matt Furlong, the CEO, and now Ryan Cohen is acting chairman or CEO. Earnings were about what analysts were expecting, which is pretty bad, but better than last year. So it's it's in the right trend, but back to negative cash flow and negative EPS. But thanks so much for joining, guys. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your support. We'll see you on Discord and Twitter Spaces at Happy Money YT. No, they canceled the earnings call because they fired their CEO, so they have an excuse. But yeah, we'll chat about it more on Discord and then maybe Twitter Spaces tonight. Okay, guys, thanks.